welcome to our second devlog for Druid.gg. Today we have November 29th, so this is the devlog for the whole of November, what we achieved so far. And we had two major changes, which are both a bit more technical, but I hope I can explain it to you well, and let's just jump right into it. So the first change is integrated dependency management. What do I mean by that? So Druid is a platform where you can very easily launch any kind of server. And for that to make possible, we designed a system which is called scrolls. A scroll is basically just a definition file for everything you need for a server. You can download a scroll by that. So that's the location of the scroll. I will show you the content in a sec. But this is basically everything you need to launch a Minecraft server. And if you are familiar with Minecraft servers, you know that Minecraft servers have some dependencies. The main dependency is Java. And before, we had the problem that we basically had two moving pieces. We once had the scroll, which has all the definitions and all the stuff which is necessary to launch a Minecraft server, but it implicitly required you to have the right dependency set up. So if you don't have Java, for example, this would fail. Let's check. Do we have Java? No, we don't have Java. Now let me run this. This will take a sec. And our new change basically does not require you to care about dependencies. I really recommend for you, you can use this tool, by the way. It's open source. You can just use it and it's free and open source MIT license. So feel free to check it out and do stuff with it. I really recommend running it in a Docker container. But that's still not a good solution, I believe, when it comes to dependency management, because you need to match the right Docker container to the right scroll definition. That does not sound right to me. So, okay, we have our Minecraft server here. And if you're familiar with Minecraft server, you see that this server's launched by now. I will stop it now again. You see that works. And let's have a look in the scroll definition file to see what changed. Sorry for the beeping, by the way. And here's the start command. And this now has this new property, dependencies. This is optional, but yeah, it is available in every scroll that we create. And if you create your own scrolls, I would really recommend to use this feature. For example, here we have a relatively new Minecraft server with a relatively new Java version. And if you run Java now, you see it's still not there. So it is not like dumping a lot of dependencies into your system. I mean, it kind of does, but it does not like install them like normal commands. It is using the Nix package manager, if you're familiar with that. I wasn't before, but I was pleasantly surprised how well it works, especially with our Druid CLI. So you can also explicitly enable it or disable it. So if we look at the Druid serve command, there's one new property here, which is the, where is it? Here, the dependency resolution property. So by default, this is on auto. And if you have the Nix package manager installed, it will be able to enable all these new things for you, like the dependency management and you not caring about it anymore. You can explicitly, but if it's on auto and the Nix package manager is not available, it will not do it for you. Like it will require you to basically care about dependencies. You can also set this to Nix, which basically throws an error when the Nix package manager is not installed, or you can set this to external, which will disable Nix package manager. This is basically how it was before. I don't see any reason to set it to external, to be honest, only if you have very special requirements, maybe. Just one dependency you have to care about is Steam CMD, because the Nix package for Steam CMD is pretty bad, and I would not recommend you to use it in like an automatic dependency mode. Maybe we can actually improve upon that, as it's open source, obviously. Let's go to the next feature, and this is Druid UI. And you probably don't know what Druid UI is. I planned to create a video before this devlog, but time was running out because I was working on Druid UI and it all took very long because it's a very complex project in itself. So I wasn't able to create any videos about it for now. There are actually two versions of Druid UI 1 and version 2, which is not merged yet. This is Druid UI, and this is the open pull request that I created. It basically does everything different. But yeah, what is Druid UI? And for that, I created Excalidraw thing here. So the Druid platform is a platform which should be very open. It should not be opinionated against any individual application that it can run. So we don't want to build like a Minecraft server specific front end into app.druid.gg. Rather, the Minecraft scroll for Druid should come with all these things. So if you want to have a nice UI to manage your Minecraft server, for example, this should all be inside of the Minecraft server scroll and not be hard-coded by me or someone else into the platform. The main reason for that is the customs is this thing here. We are actually missing some errors here. So this and this. Like, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. So these are all its individual things, and you basically just install them on the Druid platform and then they run for you. But they are not like in itself part of the Druid platform. You can think about it a little bit like if you have iOS or Android, the App Store or the Play Store, where like the apps are not part of the Android operating system. They are its own thing. And the same thing is true for Druid scrolls. What this enables is basically user-generated content, because Druid in the future hopefully will be mainly about user-generated content and people doing their own things with it. So as I said, for that you need some sort of front end to show to the users. For Minecraft server, it can be an admin UI. You could also think about like community pages or anything else, but it must be created in a way which can extend the platform, but which is also secure. And that's where the rubber hits the road. That's a very hard thing to do right, I believe. And that's what Druid UI was for. And I will make two videos about it. One is for Druid UI 1, because I think it's a nice title and a nice thumbnail, and one for Druid UI 2. And that's Druid UI. Druid UI 1 was basically the ability to write these custom front-end pieces in Lua, which sounds crazy, writing front ends for the browser and the Lua. That's why I think it's a good thumbnail, by the way. But the version 2, but this had some obvious downfalls. Like Lua is not a good front-end language, I noticed, at least if you compare it to the development experience you can, for example, have with JavaScript or maybe even other languages. Because Lua doesn't have like a good templating system, at least one that works well with our individual setup. So I looked further, and now you can use JavaScript, but you cannot just use JavaScript like in a React way where you can basically like hack our front end and make it show things that it shouldn't show. It's all encapsulated in WebAssembly, and for that we are using the Bytecode Alliance component model. I don't want to get into any details what that means, but that basically means you can write front ends for our platform in every language. And let me show you an example. I have this very simple component. Let me actually refresh that. Okay, and if you click here, nothing happens. Awesome. Why is nothing happening? Okay, the development mode is off. Let's actually fix that. I don't know what's happened to this component, but we can fix that, no problem. But as you can see, this is all not written by me in the Druid app this is all loaded from the server. We can actually, let's have a look in the network tab, and I can show you this. Yeah, I mean, you see we load a bunch of WASM, and this is basically the important stuff, the index.wasm. And this makes it basically able to show stuff in a secure way. There's some additional stuff, which is the development mode for it. This is important. And let me also start the server, because now we can see the additional tasks that are popping up here. So by enabling the development mode, we unlock these two tasks basically, and we also started hot reloading. And what that means is that if we now go back here, oh, it changed. Okay, it looks like the person who worked on this last just hasn't updated the build, because when you enable hot reloading, it obviously updates. So now the clicking works. Awesome. So, but let's modify this a little bit. Let's reload this, put the clicks back to 0, and let me show you how the development experience with this is. Oh, yeah, for the development experience, you just have to press here. This was already there, but I still think it's pretty neat. We have our own VS Code distribution where you can just edit things. And let's just edit the, so of course, this is how it looks like. This is the code behind the curtains. This is our own framework. It's pretty simple. It's not like React. It's way more simple than React. I will not get into many details on how this works, because obviously that takes a lot of time. But as you can see, we support different components. We support JSX. We support TypeScript. We support all the things that a good engineer likes, I hope, if the engineer likes JavaScript. Okay, let's modify something. Let's modify this thing. This is an example for YouTube. And this will now, the build will now take a second, because now our dependency management is working behind the curtains. We can even take a look here. So now it needs to build this thing, right? And for it being able to build, we need Node.js, and we don't want to ship Node.js to every customer, because that's just a lot of wasted storage basically. So we are just using our newly created dependency manager. And now you maybe also are seeing where the idea for the dependency manager comes from. We are using this new dependency manager to basically do this and download Node.js and create the build. And looks like the build is done. And yeah, this is an example for YouTube. Okay, this is the first build. This is still slow. We will optimize that for sure. Let's add some exclamation marks. And it says building. It's still like kind of slow. It's not like React hot reloading. There's a lot we can do better, but you see here we got the exclamation marks. The event handlers are still working. The routing is still working. So yeah, that all is at the moment only locked to the configuration screen. But of course, in the future, this feature will be extended way more, and you will also be able to create public pages. The whole setup for public pages is basically already done. It will obviously use the same tag, the same framework, everything. We just don't have the general concept for public pages fully fleshed out yet. So yeah, I think that's a pretty neat feature. I believe it's pretty cool. I will definitely focus on videos now again. This was very hard to do, but it was also necessary also to unlock other people of the Druid team to basically build these frontends out and to build configuration pages for Minecraft, for Arc, for Rust, and so on. So yeah, by now this works pretty well, I would say. More content is yet to come. This November was really crazy for many reasons, and one of this being I wrote this Druid UI thing from scratch with bytecode Alliance component model, which is currently in the middle of migrating from WASI 0.2 to WASI 0.3, which is not the best time to jump into this. I'm getting sidetracked. It was a lot of work, and more YouTube stuff is soon. Trust me, guys. Thanks for listening to that. I know these videos are not exciting, but I think it's still important to comment it. And if you want to see more, more is surely to come. You can check our other videos, of course. And the next video I will do is definitely not a devlog, but like more entertaining, more viral video. See you guys. Thanks for watching.